Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy Bengaluru. This is topic of the day discussion, and in today's topic we are discussing a very important topic, that is Hemophilia A. Because recently Indian scientists have developed a gene therapy for Hemophilia A, so it becomes very important for both UPSC prelims and mains, but especially from main prelims exams. So the news here is Indian research have achieved a significant breakthrough in treating severe Hemophilia A using a gene therapy. The trial, conducted on 5 patients in Tamil Nadu, showed promising results with no bleeding episodes reported during an average follow-up of 14 months. This marks a potential shift from frequent injections to one-time treatment solution. Okay, so before you understand about what is this breakthrough and how it is important, first we have to understand what is hemophilia. Only with that background we will be able to understand this properly. So okay, first we will understand what is hemophilia. Hemophilia, it is a rare hereditary condition caused by a faulty gene leading to insufficient production of factor 6 or factor 8, sorry. Okay, hemophilia is not a disease which is caused by viruses, not a disease which is caused by any pathogens. It is caused by hereditary, meaning it is genetic disorder. Okay, especially it is sex linked disorder. It is present in the X chromosome. So it is present in the X chromosome. It is more mainly passed from mother side of the things. Okay, mother side of the genetic material. The severe cases have less than 1% of the clotting factor, requiring frequent and costly treatment like clotting factor infusions, monoclonal antibodies, or mimic substances. Okay, what happens in hemophilia is, normally whenever you cut your hands or whenever you cut your body, okay, blood starts flowing out, but at certain point of time the blood stops. That stops because there are clotting factors which are present in the body, which clots the blood. Okay, which clots the blood and stop this flow of blood. That is called as coagulation or clotting. Okay, for clotting there are certain factors. Okay, those factors are absent in patient who are suffering from hemophilia A. Okay, when those factors which are responsible for clotting are absent, then there will be continuous blood flow. Okay, if you cut your hand and if the blood is flowing out, it doesn't stop at all because clotting factors are absent. That is why hemophilia is very a dangerous disease, you can say. So here you can see normal blood vessels. Whenever there is a blood, the platelets or clotting factors are there, which will fill the injection, or sorry, not the injection, fill the tear here. Okay, whenever there is a tear or whenever there is a cut, it will fill the cut. But now in hemophilia, these platelets and clotting factors are not present. Since they are not present, there is a uncontrolled bleeding of the blood. Okay, which is very dangerous. And so what is the significance or burden of hemophilia is, hemophilia treatment in India is very expensive, costing approximately 2.5 crores per patient over 10 years, as estimated on March 2024. Okay, at present the treatment for hemophilia is you have to continuously provide blood infusions. Okay, for not blood infusions, continuously provide clotting infusions. Okay, so those clotting infusions over a period of 10 years takes around 2.54 crore. Okay, this is something not a common man can achieve. Okay, not a common man can afford. So it is very costly and it has a high economic burden. Okay, so before you understand this one, we'll have another discussion about hemophilia A. Okay, so more discussion about hemophilia is classic hemophilia. Within hemophilia there are three types of hemophilia. Within that one, hemophilia A is a classic hemophilia. Is one of the three types of hemophilia, which is a rare inherited blood disorder. Okay, it happens when your blood doesn't clot as it should, which is when the bleeding stops or slows down. Okay, normally because of clotting the blood slows down, but in hemophilia the blood is not stopping at all. It is a sex linked disorder. The gene for hemophilia is carried on the X chromosomes, which I already explained to you. The causes for hemophilia is, when you bleed, a series of reactions takes place in the body that helps blood to clot. This process is called as coagulation cascade. Okay, normally this coagulation cascade happens and the blood flow stops. It involves as many as 20 different special proteins called coagulators or clotting factors. Okay, called coagulators or clotting factors. You may have a higher chance of excess bleeding if one or more of these factors are missing. or rare or not functioning as they should. Okay, there are more than 20 factors which are responsible for blood clotting. Okay, the blood clotting will stop as long as you have more blood clotting factors or clotting factors, but as the count of these factors goes on reducing, then the blood flow goes on increasing. Okay, blood will not stop. In hemophilia A is caused by lack of blood clotting factor 8. This is important. Within the blood clotting factors, there are many factors. One of the factor is factor 8, which is very important for blood clotting. And hemophilia A is doesn't have blood blood clotting factor 8. Without the factor 8, the blood cannot clot properly. Okay, blood cannot clot properly to control the bleeding. So what are the symptoms? Symptoms are the severity of symptoms varies. Prolonged bleeding is the main symptom. Okay, once you cut your body or cut your skin, it keeps on bleeding. Bleeds can occur internally in joints or muscles, or externally from the minor cuts, dental procedures, or injuries. Okay, this is very dangerous. Whenever the cuts happen outside and the bleeding happens on the external body, then you will be able to understand, you will be able to see that. But if the blood clotting happens within the body, which is internally, that becomes very difficult to detect. Okay, that is why this hemophilia is very dangerous. So normally till now, how the blood clotting is treated or hemophilia is treated is treated by boosting clotting factor levels or replacing the missing clotting factors. I already told you, right? Clotting factors are infusion of clotting factors. For example, how people who are suffering from insulin are infused with insulin. Similarly, blood clotting factors are infused in the body. Other treatments may include medications to promote clotting or surgery to repair damage caused by the bleeding. Okay, so these are the present treatments. But now with the study of Indian scientists, this may change. So we'll study about this current news now. Okay, so what is the study and what are the key findings? Who conducted the study? The study was led by Alok Srivastava, who is from the Center for Stem Research or Stem Cell Research at the Christian Medical College, Vellore. Stem Cell Research at the Christian Medical College, Vellore. And the study was supported by Union Department of Biotechnology. Okay, and it was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. The study demonstrates the therapy's ability to enable the body to produce enough factor 8, which is a critical blood clotting protein that is absent in hemophilia A patients. Okay, so according to this study, this gene therapy is going to help the body to produce enough factor 8, which is normally absent in hemophilia. It is because of that a gene which codes for factor 8 is absent in hemophilia A patients. With the gene therapy, now we are going to add a gene or going to replace a gene that is suppressing the gene which is producing factor 8, or you are going to completely replace the gene, or you are going to insert a new gene that is going to produce factor 8. That is gene therapy. Okay, the new gene therapy approach avoids adenovirus vectors, making it safer and more adaptable for children. Okay, you can ask me a question, sir. Then before this, did no other country do any research on this? Did no other country have any gene therapy regarding hemophilia A? Then your answer becomes wrong. Okay, because there were many countries which have already done the research. There are certain gene therapy practices which are already followed in the many countries like USA. But the observance here is the difference between both gene therapies. In present gene therapy, which the Indian scientists have discovered, is it doesn't use adenovirus vectors. So it becomes more safe and safer for children. Whereas other therapies which are already present, they use the adenovirus vectors. They use this vector for transmission. They use this vector for changing the genes. So what is the difference between this adenovirus vector using this adenovirus vector? We already discussed this hemophilia. Now comparison with the Roctavian. Okay, so Roctavian, it is the first FDA approved gene therapy, so which is already present. Hemophilia A, which was approved in 2023, it showed reduced bleeding incidence from 5.4 to 2.6 annually in a cohort study. Okay, it had a good outcome. Rotavirus uses an adenovirus vector to deliver the therapeutic gene. Okay, this requires corticosteroids to suppress immune response. Okay, normally since adenovirus vector is a pathogen to the body, it normally what it does is it triggers immune response. Okay, it triggers immune response against adenovectors. in order to reduce the immune response, then you have to infuse with corticosteroids again. These corticosteroids are very harmful for children. Okay, are very harmful for children. But in new gene therapy, which is discovered by Indian scientists, there is no use of this adenovirus. If you are not using this adenovirus, then there will be no immune response, and then there is no need to use corticosteroids, which makes this therapy more suitable for even children also. Okay, and significance of this Indian study is safer than existing gene therapies and avoids adenovirus vectors. It demonstrates feasibility of conducting advanced gene therapy research in resource-constrained settings like India. That is, even a resource setting like resource crunch or constrained countries like India can do great things in gene therapy or gene therapy studies, which is going to act as an inspiration for lesser countries again. Proteinal, like potential to open gene therapy to children, broadening its applicability. Since there is no use of adenovirus vectors, it becomes more suitable for even children also. So what are the expert opinions on this one is Johnny Mahalangu described the study as groundbreaking, highlighting its importance in making advanced treatments accessible in less resource constrained intensive settings. Okay, so it has been hailed as a groundbreaking because of its significance. So these are all the topics which I have discussed today: Hemophilia A and the new finding by India, and what are the reasons behind it being better than the previously present rotavirus like gene therapy, and what makes it Indian therapy more suitable for children, and what are the process which are involved in this gene therapy. Okay, all these things have been discussed today. It becomes very important, especially from the parents' perspective, because India has been involved in this one, because India has developed a therapy for this one, so it becomes very important. So do make a note of it. Okay, do make a note about hemophilia A and what are the reasons behind hemophilia A and how it is treated and what is the difference between new Indian study and the previous studies. Okay, very important from parents' perspective. You can 100% expect a question from hemophilia A now. Okay, with this I will end the study. I will end the discussion for today. Jai Hind.